Assalamu alaikum class 7. Today we will move toward a next part of the lesson. In a previous lecture we were doing the narration, direct and indirect speech. We have done in a previous lecture how we can change imperative sentence from direct speech into indirect speech. Now we will do the changing of direct speech into indirect speech in a statement sentence. But before we proceed toward the lesson, I must tell you a few things that as we have already done that there are two ways of reporting the words of the speaker. We may quote the actual words. This is called the direct speech. Like if I can give an example that he said, "I want an apple." Then this is direct speech and it is enclosed in the commas. But when we talk about the other way of reporting the speech, we may give the substance of the actual speech. We do not reproduce the exact words, we only reproduce the substance of the actual speech. This is called indirect speech. Like we can change the previous sentence in indirect speech, like he said that he wanted an apple. When we convert sentences from direct to indirect, we have to follow some rules, like words expressing nearness in time or place, they are generally changed into words expressing the distance. Like in indirect speech, some words like now, it changes into then, ago becomes before, today changes into that day, here becomes there, thus becomes so, tomorrow converts into the next day or the following day, and the last night converts into night before. And they pronouns, they are also changed. This and these are changed into that and those. And when we are changing exclamatory sentences and the wishes and exclamations which are introduced by some exclamatory words like hurrah and alas, we can include in the indirect speech. Like we can change a sentence, exclamatory sentence, which is showing happiness, like hurrah, we have won the match. Hurrah is an exclamatory mark. So, alas, he is failed, it is an exclamation of sadness. But before we proceed, open your books at page 149. Then I will tell you a few more rules. Come to the bottom of page 150. Here, point 97, it is that when reporting verb is in the past tense, then the direct speech will be changed into corresponding past tenses. Like he writes, it changes into he wrote. And he wrote, it changes into he had written. And if it is in present continuous tense, he is writing, it will change into he was writing. If it is in present perfect, he has written, it will change into he had written. He will go, it will change into he would go. And he would go, it will change into he would have gone. And one more rule is that generally pronouns of the first and second person, they are changed into third person, and the pronouns of the third person, they remain unchanged. And one more thing, that certain adverbs of places and time, I have already told you that how these changes are made, that now it changes into then, here changes into there. So we will start our today's lesson from the statement sentences. If the reporting verb is in the present perfect or future tense, then there is no change in the tense of the reported speech. When the statement says if the reporting verb is this part of the sentence, he says, and this is reporting speech. If reporting verb is in present tense, present perfect tense or some future tense, then there will be no change in the reported speech. If this portion reporting verb is in present, present perfect or future tense, then there will be no change in the reported speech. The example is given. He says we are late, and we will change it into indirect. It will be like that. He says that we are late. Most of the time that is omitted, so we have shown it with bracket. He has just told me we are late. He has just told me that we are late. Now turn the page. He will tell you, it is an example of future tense. He will tell me I am very sorry, and we will change it. He will tell you that he will tell you he is very sorry. Most of the time as it is written here, the conjunctions that is usually omitted. So exercise, you have to do it in your copy, and I have done for you. You have to prepare the page, you have to mention the page, statement, sentence, then one by one we will do it. He says, I want to speak to you. As we already read that if the reporting verb is in present tense, there will be no change in the reported verb. So it will be he says that I want to speak to you. Again, I have put it into bracket because most of the time that is omitted. I have explained they are not in fault. I have explained they are not in fault. In the third one, they say we have finished our work. We will change it because it is in present tense. They say, then we have finished our work. Fourth one, they will tell me we have been very ill. They will tell me we have been very ill. I have told him they are waiting outside. I have told him they are waiting outside. Our teacher says, you are a lazy boy. Again, it is in present tense. We will change it. Our teacher says that you are a lazy boy. He has told me. This reporting verb, it is in present perfect tense. He is ready to help us. He has told me that he is ready to help us. He tells me she has finished her work. He tells me that she has finished her work. He says, I am ill. He says, I am ill. I will say to him, you may go when you have finished your task. We will change it. I will say to him, you may go when you have finished your task. So you have to write on all these in your copies. Thank you.